indeed. Here we go again. Diving deep. Dialogue Unlimited. He is the dive instructor, and I'm the splash specialist. And once again, if you ain't got your stuff together, you can get off this excursion. We don't demonstrate, we penetrate. That's why we go deep. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole Schwable Room crew. You know what I'm saying? Beat Down Brown, Old Man Ali, Eddie P, and Old Painless. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go ahead and get into it, bro.
Indeed.
This is another one of those under the radar episodes, you know what I'm saying?
UTR.
Yeah, boy.
Under the radar episode. Yes. How you feeling, man?
I'm not too bad. Energized, actually.
Beautiful. Likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Likewise. Yes, indeedy. So, man, heck of a week.
Boy, oh boy.
Strike is over.
That part. Well, tentatively, supposedly. But yeah, for the most part, yeah. Ain't gonna complain at all.
Looks like the moves that they made might benefit everybody on some level.
We gonna see, but yeah, for the most part.
Indeed.
Some other history that been made too. The Texas Rangers are World Series champions for the first time in franchise history.
I missed that. Wow.
Yeah. Hold up, you missed it. I live down here and missed it.
Wow.
Nah, bruh. I mean, they was talking about it at work, like they had the game on and everything at work, and like it happened while I was at work, and I would have thought it would have heard like a whole bunch of cheers. Crickets.
Right. Crickets, huh?
So like I'm checking my email in the morning, and it was like I'm getting the emails from like Liz and all like the fan stuff. Oh, get your Texas Rangers World Series champions gear. So they won. All right, bet that's what's up. Cool.
Wow.
But yeah, they about to have a parade today, and that's gonna be pandemonium. They're predicting like 500,000 people on one block.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's a big block, but 500,000 people, bro.
I was just getting ready to say that's got to be a big block.
It's right behind the job too.
Wow.
I'm just glad I don't work during that time.
Oh, beautiful.
Facts, because it's gonna be crazy. Wow, crazy. But yeah, shout out to them. They pulled it through. On the radio this morning, they was talking about, last year they lost over 100 games, and to come back this year and be World Series champs, I mean, that's a story, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's a story. So, I mean, hey, shout out to them. They did it. I ain't even mad.
Facts.
For sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. But
congrats. Big ups to the Texas Rangers, man.
For sure. So what's under the radar this week?
What's under the radar? Well, we were talking the other day, and then you hit me to a Milli Vanilli story, and we got to vibing, and I guess within the last year or so, maybe more, they've been giving flowers to the people who were big in dance music, also known as club music, aka house music all night long, house music all night long, house. Okay, So hey man, we're gonna get into it a little bit. We're gonna talk about some very big voices that they tried to smush up into the economy, put into the background filter out, keep us from knowing what was really happening, and we're gonna get into it, man. Some great names in music history. Some still active, some actively touring together. Doing their thing, reviving the whole energy, of the dance music that we
Word,
came up watching the
word,
videos for.
word.
Uh, so, hey, man, what you want to get into first? You want to talk about the Millie Vanilli thing, or
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Definitely.
cool, cool. So
We can do that.
we'll see which chat to grab that from here. I'm looking at the Mountain Dew hot dogs. All right, my bad, y'all. A little personal moment.
Nah,
So,
that's some down south stuff, bruh.
is it?
It gotta, dude. It has to be because down here, listen, when I first moved down here, I was in Walmart and I seen some they had like Kool-Aid soaked pickles
Word,
in Walmart, bruh. Yeah.
word,
It was great value brand on top of that. It was wild.
word.
It was wild.
That's crazy.
I'm like, you can't be serious. Nah, they was like
Wow.
fruit punch flavor on top of that.
Fruit
Yeah,
punch
man,
flavored pickles.
bruh.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm dead ass, dead ass.
Stop it. That's just nasty. Oh,
Like I said, some down south stuff, man. I ain't even mad at them. Couldn't find no open pit, but I found fruit punch flavored pickles. Let it be, brother. Let it be.
man.
I ain't mad. I'm not here to yuck nobody's yum. You feel me?
Indeed. Give me just 1 second, folks. My bad. See, 1 second.
Are you good?
All right. So I had a little noise going on in the background. I didn't want to bleed through. A little embarrassing. So let's get into it. The Millie Vanilli story. I'm trying to pull it open and it's trying to go to Apple News. Um, there we are. Millie Vanilli.
Yeah, I remember when that story first broke about the whole lip syncing thing, and then they would start playing "Girl, You Know It's True," and then a big toilet flush sound would start. Let's do it on Hot FM 101 all the time, bruh.
Crucial.
Wild crucial. That was a joint though. You can't even front.
The beats were infectious. I mean, you know what I mean. They
That's
dealing
what
with
I'm
the
saying. That drum sample that they used from Paid in Full, he was like, "Oh, this is fire."
yeah, man. They had some great drum programmers and uh, producers. So man, they used to put together the what we used to call prefab sound. But it was like it was like they had an ear for what people were going to gravitate to instantly. That was going to blow up really
Word,
quick. So
word, word.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So all right, shoot. This is the story, I guess, was pulled from what? Let's see here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I got it from it had popped up on my Apple News. It's like, this looks interesting. And then after we go through it, I got a little bit more information. That's what made me think about the whole under the radar thing because there is some more stuff to it. I want to say that a lot of people probably don't know about, you know what I'm saying? But alongside from what they have here, there's some more stuff to it that ain't really known to the public, you know what I'm saying?
Elaborate, please, 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 indeed.
Oh, well,
Or unless you want
along
to read
nah,
the.
we can go ahead and go through all this, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
indeed, indeed. So yep. So ask anyone around during the late '80s and early '90s what they think of when they hear the name Milli Vanilli today, and one of two events will likely come to mind. There's the 1989 concert where the pop duo's hit song "Girl, You Know It's True" began skipping through the loudspeakers, alerting their masses live audience that they'd been lip syncing the entire time. Then there's the press conference that the duo in 1990 gave just months after winning the Grammy for Best New Artist, and where members Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan confirmed widespread rumors at the time that they'd never sung on their records. They complied uh, with the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences demand for them to return their Grammy. So they snagged the awards back. Wow. Which we knew that back then. But I mean, yeah, how would you go up on the stage and accept an award for something that you didn't perform on? And it's for a
Right,
vocal performance.
right.
That I mean, that's
Now,
really really messed
but
up.
my thing is if the joint would have been skipping at the show, I mean, they could have got away with that because I mean, it was high energy. They was dancing and stuff. You didn't want to mess up your shit. I mean, you know how many folks lip sync during their concerts back then? You know what I'm saying? How many folks lip sync during their concerts now?
But allegedly, it's their voice
Yeah,
that they're lip
true,
syncing over.
true. I mean, that part I understand.
And I mean, you have artists now that do all of their vocals. They hire background singers when they tour.
Right,
But I mean, we had, not to bring a different energy to the show, but we had artists back then like Prince, who all he put together a band to tour.
right,
You had artists like Trent Reznor. He would put together a band, and it might be different musicians with a couple core musicians that were the same for Nine Inch Nails.
right,
You had Joe Thomas, the R&B great. You had R. Kelly. These guys would go in and they do all the vocals. I mean, and they're not the first. I mean, of course, we had all the way back to Ray Charles when the 8-track was invented. You had Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye. You had the list goes on. But these guys actually took lead vocal power able singers and just smushed them, pushed them off to the side like, oh no, they're not a part of the project. They just did some background vocals. No, that was their record.
yeah,
So, it was just interesting. They had an image that they wanted to promote. Like how many of us knew that there were melanated people actually from Germany,
right,
Italy, France,
right,
these various parts of the world that the image that is projected is not usually a person of hue.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Word,
Wow. But yeah, man.
word.
So let's build up to this information you say is not readily known by the public.
All right.
Um, I'm gonna let you take over here because I want you to build into where you want to segue into that information, if that's cool.
Okay. No, that's cool. So what the memory is a little hazy on the specific details around both the concert and the press conference. And in fact, the two seem to happen just a few days apart instead of looking back on it. over a year apart, which should have immediately raised questions then about who all helped cover this up and for how long. But one recollection is crystal clear. Millie Vanilli was a joke, a fraud, untalented opportunist that pulled the wool over our eyes.
Wow.
Wow. They were effectively canceled before that word was popularized. They were dismantled, dismissed, and forgotten by the media, fellow entertainers, and fans alike. And despite a whole press conference about it, no one asked the real question: who else was in on this? Hmm. I mean, yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned it, it's like, okay, well, we got this song. We just gonna find two puppets to put up here and dance. Dance, Mr. Bojangles, dance.
Wow. Yeah, man. They got step and fetch it out there. Apparently, that's what they
Ba-
were doing.
Basically, that sounds about right. Shoot. The lack
Wow.
of interest in the truth, particularly damning to any good journalism, remains frustrating to Morvan today as he reflects on being in that press room in 1990. He and Pilatus, the two young black men from Europe, were pelted with a barrage of questions from people more interested in pinning the entire scheme on them and why they betrayed their fans than anything else. Word? I mean, it was
That's
like,
deep.
dude, I can didn't they doing a living color sketch on them dudes?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they were behind a big machine was behind them. And I'm sure that's where this information is going to lead us up to. Of course, we know.
Oh,
Uh,
no doubt.
but
No doubt.
they're trying to make it out like, yeah, it was like the planet was a playground and we were those two kids that people were bullying to death. Morvan told me on a recent video call. Both he and Pilatus had already been well aware of the fact that they'd become a routine punchline on sketch comedy and late night shows. And it goes living color.
Okay.
Pardon me, you. Late night with David Letterman, the Arsenio Hall show. But the press conference presented an opportunity for the truth, their full story to finally come out that never happened. That's in their heyday, man. These young guys, man. Look at these brothers, man. They even had to weave in, man.
Man, Rick James was better.
Man, look. They got the swashbuckling pirate bandanas, you know what I mean? With the lawyers in tow, the matching glasses. I mean, come on, man. Why hate?
Right.
Why hate, man? But, it's like nobody did their homework, Morvan said. It was targeted towards Rob and Fab. Rob and Fab. What about, let's not say his name. What about the big boss? What about the big boss? That's still too often the case when celebrity fandom devolves into public scorn. Details like the fact that German producer Frank Farian orchestrated the facade and that vocal coach Seth Riggs opened the press conference, noting how common it was to lip sync performances and recalling the duo wanted to perform live at the Grammys but was told not to do so, don't really matter. So nuances in Pilatus and Morvan's story are now properly explored in the new Paramount documentary. Check it out, y'all. That examines the meteoric rise and epic downfall, aptly titled Milli Vanilli and directed by Luke Coram.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, why not? You got people like, okay, let's see, Timbaland, Diane Warren, as well as other industry talent and cultural critics, basically contextualizing, these guys' short-lived careers, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so, what's that information, brother? Where'd you want to start with that?
All right, so again, like I said, I don't believe many people know it. I'm sure there are if they listen to the other joint, but originally that song "Girl You Know It's True" was written and sung, well, not written and sung, but was written by none other than former, I don't think he's there anymore, but former Def Jam exec Kevin Lyles.
Hmm.
A young Kevin Lyles, like way back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that there may be a version of the song, a demo version of the song with him actually singing on it. Because I want to say if you check out his episode on the Questlove Supreme podcast, shout out to Questlove, Von
Shout out.
Tigolo, Laia, Unpaid
Yeah.
Bill, Sugar Steve, and all them. Dope podcast as well.
Yeah.
On his
Indeed.
episode, this is where I heard it from. But he was saying that when like the song first came out, I guess like the girl that he was with, they was in the car listening to it, and she was like, "Hey, your song on the radio, this you." He was like, "That ain't me." So, but yeah, I believe he wrote it. And if you do check out Wikipedia for like the credits on there, his name does pop up. So yeah, that right there is under the radar. Kevin Lyles did write that joint. He's credited for that joint. I don't know if he got his I don't know if he actually got his pub or his actual credit for it, but yeah, he had a big hand in the creation of that song.
So check it out. What do we see? Kevin Lyles,
Bong. The
Rodney
song was
Cool
written.
Rod
Song was
Holloman,
written by Yup.
Bill Petaway Jr., Sean, DJ Spin, Spencer, Kevin Lyles. Yeah, a songwriting team. Kevin Lyles was a big part of that. So, I mean, back in the day, that was how you paid your dues, man. I mean, I know, I don't know if they would want their name said, but I know a group from our hometown, guys that did some major things, and some still doing major things as a part, separate from the collaborative, but still, I'm sure, um, in most instances, still tight with the crew. But they had to sign a deal. I want to say, and they can come on if they'd like to. Hey, and correct me if I'm incorrect, because I'm not trying to spread rumor. But from what I understand, their first deal was with Sony Records, and as a part of that deal, the publishing part of the deal was that their first 10 songs that the label felt would be uh, advantageous or hit songs, they had the rights to the first 10 songs publishing that they chose out of their catalog that they had already built before signing with the label. And some major names made multiple versions of one of their songs, and two of the label mate artists on subsidiaries of Sony had hits with that same song title.
Mm.
On the down low, yeah, that was a Youngstown thing. And I'm not talking about you got a wife and a boyfriend. I'm talking about just, you know, keeping on the down low with the mistress or whatever you want to call it, the side chick as they calling it these days, popularized. But that keep it on the down low, that was from a Youngstown group. And then you had two major artists on the same major label, but on subsidiary labels under that label that produced two top 10 songs based loosely or closely to their original version. I remember a girl I was dating, I would call her when I knew she wasn't home because we had answering machines just so I could hear their original song on the download. So,
See,
anyways, a little nostalgia. Sorry, I got a little nostalgic for the audience, but yeah, man, Kevin Liles. Hey, what about that?
yeah, it's wild.
Ghost singers, ghost writers. I mean, it's an industry, guys. It's an image image made industry. You know, and I think most of us
Indeed.
aren't shocked by this anymore. But these are some of the things that might have slipped under the radar.
True indeed,
Yeah,
man. True indeed. But I mean, that was like the wildest thing right there because you gotta think them dudes did not sing at all on their album. At all, not one note, not a
yep,
la, not a mi, not a so, re, mi, or a do.
indeed.
None of it. But I mean, the hair was laid, but
Yeah,
nothing else.
the hair was
Yeah,
laid
man,
and the trap was set. you
that
know,
part. Gotcha, bitch.
which
That
segue, we're
part.
gonna segue into another well-oiled machine, but sloppy with the business, and they had to pay the price after trying to smush my girl up into the economy.
Man, and she nailed that ass. I mean, shoot. But hey, I'm glad she finally got her just. I will not say got. I'm glad she's getting her just due and recognition for it for sure.
Can we see this? Is it showing? Okay, wait. No, because I gotta go to this one. Wait, no. There we are. Share this tab instead. All right, y'all. Listen. This lady right here. This lady right here.
And it,
Bad, a bad mamma jamma, man. She is cold.
facts.
Started out in gospel, went into disco, from disco to dance slash house R&B. I mean, you name it, man. She could sing it.
Word.
And I mean, this is a singer's singer that I feel doesn't get the credit due her because of people's perception of the genre that has been most successful for her. But she's a success, period. So I don't want to even downplay who and what she is talent wise, man. She's one of the most incomparable. Who would you compare to Martha Wash, man?
Martha Wash. You really she's a goat. She's goaded, bruh. You
Bro,
really can't.
she's really one of the
You
She really
compare
is.
people to her, dog. You really can't compare her to nobody. You got to compare people to her.
I was trying to find a video I caught earlier of Whitney Houston in an interview. They weren't even talking about Martha Wash, but she felt compelled to bring her up. And when Whitney Houston
And there
give
you
you
go.
give you her your flowers when the interview was all about Whitney Houston and her
There you
heyday,
go. There you go.
man, that's something special.
So I saw the
Oh, my
video.
bad. I'm gonna back it up a little bit so we can hear the context of everything said, hopefully. Even though this is a clip from YouTube, we had the fair use disclaimer. Y'all know what it is. Not claiming credit for capturing any of this footage or editing any of the footage that you're getting ready to view for entertainment purposes only. And yeah, here we go.
I didn't know that the whole thing was going on until I saw the video on TV.
Yeah.
Sing that part so they'll know. If you can hit that note.
It's like
Here's a
when you
technique to
hear her,
attract younger women
her
without being.
saying that, you just expect to beat the drop.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I mean, one of a kind, bro. Like, she was in mid laugh, leaning back on the couch.
Right.
Big time nighttime TV.
That was just so effortless to her. So effortless.
There's no question that was her song. Like, she came up with it. Like, somebody might have wrote down like everybody dance, but I mean, come on. That's so common. That's a common statement. But man, she set that whole joint off to where even people, like I was saying, like myself, that really wasn't into that kind of music, was like, wait a minute. Why have I been like overlooking this? Why have I been ignoring this? And it make you want to dance. It makes you want to dance, man. Like, even if you don't dance that way, you know, whatever the case may be. And
she put the soul into that.
Yeah, she put the stank on it for sure.
That
in a good way. In a good way.
Heart.
I was going to say
a sugar daddy. So now when you do this, it feels totally innocent and it's very
okay. We can come back to that. Tracksploitation. Shout out to Tracksploitation. Thank you for the beautiful bean footage on this awesome person and subject matter. So yeah, she inspired so many, man. You and I were talking before the show about what some of the names, right? Go ahead and drop a couple of them names or whatever.
I mean, shoot, aside from CNC Music Factory, she did Black Box. Did she do Snap too, right?
I'm not sure on Snap. I think that was another sister. In fact, I want to talk about her too, but I'd have to find her name real quick.
Okay, but she definitely did Black Box. I mean, if you couldn't tell them were the same people, because again, as we said before the show, that time when they performed on Soul Train and Don Cornelius interviewed her afterwards, homegirl spoke not one lick of English, not one,
not a bit
at all.
I mean, and then we could go all the way back, like we mentioned. I think if we didn't mention the Weather Girls, It's Raining Men,
yeah.
And what this boils down to, man, we probably can get into this maybe more so on another episode continuation or so, but I just wanted to mention like image, right? We talked about image, but the weight factor, you know, appearance, in pop music more so than any other genre, they were so concerned with promoting an image that they would discount the actual talent, which is insane to me.
I mean, but bro, I mean, not even just pop music. You gotta think, bro. Well, I mean, yeah, this was popular music, but I mean, they did it with R&B too. I mean, look at when Kelly Price first came out, bro.
I mean, would there be a Kelly Price without a Martha Wash?
No, not at all. But I mean, but I'm saying when Kelly Price first came out, all of her promo pictures were face shots only. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, but like, if we consider that, she, without being overly, what's the word I'm looking for? Without being overly, what's the words I'm looking for? Let's just use butthurt. That's a popular term from these days. Without acting overly butthurt about it, she was just real about who she is, and just let them know, like, you're not going to still overlook me just because you don't like how much weight I have or what size my garments are. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Right.
That's not what you're interested in anyway. You want my voice,
right?
So pay me what I'm owed for my voice,
right?
They tried to pay this lady $1,000 and a background vocal credit, not a writership credit. Not full publishing, not 10% of the publishing. I mean, what they tried to do to her, I'm so proud of her for standing up. I mean, would there be a Lizzo?
Indeed.
Would there be a Lizzo without this lady? I mean, this really is an eye-opener, man.
Oh, no doubt.
No, this is
No
really
doubt
an
at
eye.
all.
And some of the other names I was looking for you to drop is Sherry Dennis, Crystal Waters,
CC Peniston,
DC Peniston,
Robin S.
Robin S. You
For
know,
sure.
a whole lane got opened up from her
Oh,
challenging Sony
most
and
definitely.
CNC and Black Box for, you know what I'm saying, for what they try to do. They actually, I don't want to
Definitely.
say they did her no favors, but they actually set up the perfect conditions for her to thrive, and to make this whole thing seen in the proper light.
Word.
So big ups,
Word.
Martha Wash,
Word.
CC
Word.
Peniston, Robin S, Sherry
Word.
Dennis,
Hey,
Crystal
shoot.
Waters.
Hey,
Shoot, I'm gonna
even
keep going. Michelle and Degliocello,
yeah,
Shawnee.
yeah.
Come on, help me out here, bro. I know you
Hey,
got names,
Queen Latifah even
Latifah.
had a house song, bruh.
bro.
And that joint still slap.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
It still slap, bruh.
Trying
You know what I'm
to tell you.
saying?
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So big ups, big props, big love. You want to watch some more of this thing and maybe do some reaction to it, or what you want to do? One to another.
I mean, it don't matter, man. Whatever.
It matters, brother. That's why I'm asking what you want to do.
It's whatever to me.
All right, let's check out a little bit of this track exploitation video. You know, voice of the 1990s dance music, Martha Wash, the voice.
Black Box were an Italian dance music trio. Their debut single, Bride on Time, was entirely constructed from a huge sample taken from Lolita Holloway's 1980 disco hit, Love Sensation. But in the video and in live performances, the vocals were lip-synced by Catherine Quinol. Bride on Time went to #1 in the UK and went on to be the biggest selling song of 1989. The success of Ride on Time led Black Box to start work on an album. They drafted in Martha Wash from the Weather Girls to record some demos for them. During the session, she recorded vocals for a number of different tracks, some original songs and a cover of Earth, Wind & Fire's Fantasy. All of Black Box's 6 other singles, Everybody, Everybody, Open Your Eyes, Hold On, I Don't Know Anybody Else, Strike It Up, and Fantasy, all contain vocals from those sessions with Martha Wash. None of them credit her as the vocalist, and just like Ride on Time, Catherine Quinol mimes the vocals in the video and appears on the cover of the single.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn 100 songs on the piano.
Bruh. Are those contacts?
I was about to say them a little too blue. And that was before you can go to
Toured with the
Africa and
group,
get
so would
them
mime the
colored
vocals
in.
for all the tracks at the gig.
Yeah, that, I mean, okay. Well, I'll let it go for now. But that, I mean, that was too blue. I was like,
Gigs. There were a few occasions when she attempted to sing on top of Martha Wash's pre-recorded vocals.
Yikes.
No.
In September 1990, Martha Wash sued Black Box and RCA Records for commercial appropriation. RCA settled the case out of court in December 1990 and agreed to pay her a substantial fee. RCA also signed her to an 8-album recording contract.
8-album contract,
bruh.
National
tour. As a result of the lawsuit, there was new federal legislation
from 3 songs,
in the USA making vocal credit mandatory for all albums and music videos. Catherine Quinol left the group in 1991 following the court cases.
She sure did.
But Black Box went on to record another album and is still active today. The second album, without Martha Wash's vocals, didn't sell anywhere near what the first album sold.
Of course not.
But the remaining members of the group were not hounded out of the music industry or ridiculed like Milli Vanilli. Catherine's account of her time with Black Box mirrors much of the Milli Vanilli story too. She was a model by day and a go-go dancer by night. She would often sing at the end of the night. She enjoyed singing, and although she didn't want to quit her modeling career, she jumped at the chance to be part of Black Box. They asked her to be their lead singer, even though by that time Ride on Time was already recorded and the sessions with Martha Wash were underway. Quinol assumed that much like European dance music of the time, it would be limited to the clubs and any success would be brief. After she agreed to join, she was told the vocals had been recorded and she was only needed for pictures and videos. So she treated it just like a modeling job. After Ride on Time became a hit across Europe, she felt trapped into continuing her promotional duties. After leaving Black Box, she did try to start a music career on her own. In 1995, she released the single Feel You under the name Back in a Box featuring Katrin, with no success. The ink had barely dried on the settlement with Black Box when Martha Wash found herself in a similar situation again.
I didn't know that the whole thing was going on until I saw the video on TV.
In June 1990, she'd been paid around $1,000 to record a demo for David Cole and Robert Clivilles. The demo she recorded was never completed, but they used some parts of her vocals to create the chorus of a new song. They had originally intended the song to be for an R&B trio they were working with called Trilogy, but the group turned down the chance to record the song. Nevertheless, they decided to play the unfinished song to A&M Records, who were so impressed they offered them a recording deal just on the strength of the incomplete demo. Using the first initials of each of their last names, they decided to call this new project C&C Music Factory. They brought in unknown rapper Freedom Williams to finish the song around Martha Wash's demo vocals. The song, Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now, was released as C&C Music Factory featuring Freedom Williams. They did credit Martha Wash for her vocal, but just as a backing vocalist, and in the video for the single, Zelma Davis mimes to her performance.
Bruh. You really think his name is Freedom?
It really is Freedom Williams, I believe.
Okay. I won't comment. I might.
I really believe.
Really culturally insensitive.
I think it really is. I mean, you know what? Don't even quote me on that. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, it might be. Wow. There's so many things that comes to mind with this whole process.
Dude, he still be getting paid off of this though, dude.
This is one of this is one of those never have to work again songs. And the fact that they would not let her tour to perform her own vocals, rather have this non-English speaking, poor lip syncing, has no ability to carry a note in a paper bag person collecting money for modeling when this woman should have been making hundreds of thousands to millions yearly since the song came out.
Wearing these ocean blue contacts.
Man, bruh. Okay, so
but I mean, she put the nail in the coffin when she self-snitched and tried to sing over him. Stop playing.
Yeah, stop playing, man. Katrin Quinol. Well, I wish you the best too, Katrin. I mean, life is hard.
Just like Katrin Quinol in Black Box, Zelma Davis was presented as the group's lead singer. She's the only female pictured on the artwork and lip syncs in all the videos. She did actually record some vocals for other C&C Music Factory releases, just not this one.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here. When the gunman...
Whew. Oh, man. So, yeah.
C&C Music Factory in the hope of negotiating proper credits and some royalties. The requests were denied as ultimately they believed that the $1,000 and background credit were more than sufficient for her contribution to the recording.
The arrogance.
Not willing to let it drop, Martha Wash decided to take legal action.
Martha Wash is suing Clivilles, Cole, and CBS Sony Music for $500,000.
Even if you got a performer's permission to put one person's voice in another person's body, you do not have the permission of the American public to not be lied to.
It's a hurtful thing. And it's something that I'm dealing with now.
On December the 11th, 1990, Martha Wash sued A&M's parent company, Sony Music, for fraud, deceptive packaging, and commercial appropriation. Sony was not willing to settle out of court. They believed they had done nothing wrong. They had credited her as a background singer, and they argued that on a rap song, the featured performer is the rapper, and the singer of the chorus is rarely credited as a featured performer. This is partly true. If the singer is a session singer or an unknown singer, and they're singing the chorus on a song that features a rapper, it is unlikely that they will be credited as featured. But when the chorus vocalist is well known, they are nearly always credited as a featured performer. I would consider Martha Wash to be well known just for its Raining Men, Not to mention her work with Sylvester and the Black Box songs, she's more than deserving of a featured credit. Sony disagreed and fought the case for 3 years before eventually reaching a settlement. They may actually have won had it not been for the precedent set by the earlier Black Box case. Sony paid a fee to Martha Wash, credited her as lead vocalist, listed her as featured on all future pressings, and asked MTV to add a disclaimer that credited Wash for vocals and Zelma Davis for visualization to the Gonna Make You Sweat music video. The single went to #1 in 5 different countries, and by the time they had reached a settlement, it had sold over 5 million in the USA alone. Gonna Make You Sweat is the biggest hit the CNC Music Factory had, so everybody coming to one of their gigs would have been expecting to hear that song. Rather than have Martha Wash tour with them and perform it night after night, instead they had Zelma Davis just lip-syncing to it. Perhaps there was a reason behind this. Perhaps Martha Wash isn't capable of reproducing such a powerful vocal on command.
Sing that part so they'll know. If you can hit that note.
Bruh. Yeah. It's a dirty game.
Very much so.
It's a dirty game. But
Very much so.
We know it's rigged. But yeah,
indeed, man.
I love how they snitched on it, like you said, self-snitched.
Man, self-snitched.
Yeah, you can't duplicate vocals like that. You can't fake it.
Nah, not at all. At all. You know, I'll tell you who we can compare her to, just on vocal standpoints. Aretha.
Facts.
Aretha.
Facts.
That's who we can compare her to.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And then
honorable mentions.
Honorable mention Shirley Murdoch.
That part.
Honorable mention Kim Burrell. Honorable mention Kelly Price. Honorable mention no, but I mean those types of power voices that still can do what some of us call vocal acrobatics. I don't think just because she got the belt down pat, she can't do the riffs. Right. Those are there too. That's what I mean. That's a flat-footed singer. That's a singer's singer. That's a singer's singer.
That's that Clark Sisters type of action.
There you go. There you go.
Word.
You can't fake that, and you can't replace that with a model. You know, no diss to the models, because I mean, everyone likes eye candy, and everyone likes to see people who look good in clothes, certain types of clothes, no matter what the size of the clothes, right? We like seeing pretty people, and she's a pretty person. They just didn't like her image for the song that she mastered and blew the heck out the water, you know.
Right.
So big ups to the Unsung, to the ghost singers and ghost writers. You know, this could be an hours long show.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But we're only going to give you a little taste today. Hope you all like the new intro. Peace and shout out to Beat Down Brown for that collaboration with the intro.
Indeed.
You know, he used some images that you and I have put together a little bit ago, and a logo that you designed and captured, and you know, he's made the background that I have behind me here to dive in deeper. Dialogues Unlimited, episode 14. If you can see it. Anyway, I'm probably blocking it, but it's all good. You know, it's kind of like my show too. So
you stupid. You stupid.
Yeah, man. So anybody want to shout out, man, before we you know, get it moving for the day?
Peace to the gods and the earths.
Indeed. The sevens, the gods and the earths. Peace.
And shout out to everybody who feel like they being swept under the rug. Your day is gonna come when you get your recognition.
Facts. You will get your flowers while you yet upright, vertical, and breathing.
Word.
Believe that somebody sees what you're doing, somebody appreciates it, and there's a whole bunch of people, believe it or not, looking up to you and want to do everything you do, good, bad, or otherwise. So, hey,
Word.
you might want to watch your step here and there, but live your life.
Word.
Live your life to the fullest. Shout out to Big Ob, Ed 10, Swable Room crew.
Indeed.
Shoot,
Indeed.
Arafat, Ill with D's, Mike Groove, PG-13, Elijah the Anomaly. Come on, man. Let's throw us
Shout
some more
out to my
love.
man Rufus Black.
Yes,
Power of God.
indeed.
El Presidente, old man Ali.
Old,
You know what I'm
old man
saying?
Ali.
For sure.
Miss
For
Kiki.
sure. Indeed.
Bishop Bendova Beer.
Yeah. For sure.
That's the
For
Deep Throat
sure.
Conversations podcast. They fam too. So yeah, who else? Alfie. Shout out to my sis, Big Al, sis Alfie, the alpha female, Master Copper Bender Sandy. Who else, man? Who else? Jesus Christo, aka Chris Powell. Everybody that supports the podcast, like, share, and subscribe.
Word.
Subscribe.
Word. Yeah, shout out to everybody who watch us in all of our splendor.
Yeah.
All of that grooviness. For sure. Much love and much love.
Check
and
us out on Rumble.
appreciation.
Rumble.com. Check us out on YouTube.com. Hey, if you can help out, support the Cash App. We want to grow the budget so that we can entertain you and educate you better. We're all about the audience, and we love to know and hear from you what you would like to hear, what you'd like to see more of, less of, etc. Oh, shout out to Moochie. Yeah. Glad to have you here too, Moochie.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hopefully this is a new subscriber.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you much. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. But this has been another diving deeper Dialogue Unlimited podcast. 3D. Live and direct. Put your lighters in the air. No, I'm sorry. Dancehall massive. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh, shoot. For
Well, we
sure.
about to be out of here, y'all, man. Thanks for spending some time with us. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up. Give us some feedback. Be respectful. We respect you, and we'd love to hear from you. Absolutely. So, yeah. We're going to go with the outro from the intro from the outro, and we out of here, y'all.